I'm Mike Kelly. How are you?
Thank you.
Good. So, my friend Kofi tells me that you do great things and he absolutely wanted me to meet with you.
Well, that's true. We've done some pretty... it's so difficult doing this.
Sure.
Well, that's true. We've done some other things that have not been quite... I mean, the governments have been quite happy, but of late they've been quite receptive. They even invite us now to be pre-budget briefings. So this all closed down.
Oh.
It's good.
Well, you know, I was in the airport when Kofi called me about you, and you know, I was on my cell phone. The reception was not really good, so like I didn't really like. He just told me I should meet with you. I think he's some sort of a political party or something like that. Anyway, we'll get to that. But before we go to my office, I want to show you my art collection. Look how beautiful it is. And so the main pieces, you know, is Russian art. You know. From 12th and 13th century Russian art. Like, look, for instance, this one here, you know, it's a Vladimir, Mother of God, and it went to Kiev, and there was a whole cult around there. People, you know, it was alleged to have been, you know, with miracles, and there was a whole cult of people coming to get miracles. And then in 1395, it was moved to Moscow. Now, obviously, this is a replicate, but it's so well done that even experts would be hard-pressed to distinguish it. And, you know, I mean, the other ones, too, are great, but, you know, most of them are replicates because, unfortunately, I mean, during the communist era, they were either destroyed or let go, so it's a shame. But anyway, these are just great pieces.
I mean, they have remnants of that as well in Ghana and most parts of Africa. But art is interesting. My wife is going to get me into appreciating art.
Oh,
so this could be a positive initiation.
Yeah, well, listen, if she's around, just tell her to come and, you know, we can maybe make a visit because I have a whole series of other pieces as you can see there. So we could go and just have a nice little tour. So, hey, what's this? This is cables there. I don't know why they put there, but anyway. Hey, so can I offer you a glass of water, soft drink? I have some scotch if you want. They're very good.
Actually, what I would do. Thank you.
Water? Okay, good. Well, here's a glass for you.
Thank you.
Here. Good. So yeah, I mean, so I sort of understand. I mean, when I spoke to Kofi in the airport, I understood that you were like sort of like a new political party of Ghana. But then when I looked at your website just before you came in, and it sounded like if you were like a Department of Economics of a university. So I must admit, like I'm a little confused. What is it that you do, Franklin?
Actually, it's easy to categorize us into a political party. I mean, we get that most of the time, depending on what positions we take on public policy issues in Ghana. So you are not probably so wrong. But actually you are right on the second one, which obviously looks like an economics website. But that's what we do. We research economic trends for the benefits of businesses, civil society, and government. And for that we've received quite a number of, I should say, some scholarly recitals, as well as good rankings in prestigious indices.
But what's the difference between you and the Faculty of Economics? I mean, because there's already many Faculty of Economics, so why have one more?
Well, actually, we are not. What we are basically idea entrepreneurs. And so what we do, idea entrepreneurs.
Ideas entrepreneurs.
What happens is that, I mean, typically an economics professor in a university would be theorizing about the things, how to make the world look really good. But we actually, we are an interface between the theory and practice. So we are like the vanguards of, if you like, rational thinking. And so we try to gauge from different angles what really should be the case. So we are like reality-based organizations, trying to make sure we get a sense of the theory.
But are you as right-wing as my friend Kofi? Because I find him very right-wing.
Well, we could be described as center of right, and again within our organization, that's the beauty of it. People hold different views. Of course, we are first libertarians, but then there are extremes. Libertarians. Basically, we believe in small government. I mean, not having.
Because I was a libertine when I was back in university. That was a long time ago.
That's a difference. Actually, we are libertarians, and essentially we believe in having smaller government. I mean, lower taxes, decentralized management of power and resources, rule of law and free speech. And most important, I should say, is the promotion of trade. Because that's one of the things we obviously believe is a bulwark against all these talk about aid and how effective aid will be.
Right.
And as you all know, there's always a black hole anytime lots of money have been given for other reasons.
No, that is interesting. And so, I mean, I've always been of the view that, you know, the work ethics is getting destroyed, you know, by governments. They create so many programs that after that, you know, people just don't have an incentive to go and work. And so that's really bad, but I don't know how you're going to change that because it's so profoundly entrenched.
Well, one of the things, and you're right, I mean, these programs by governments are always many and varied. In Ghana now, we do have the government's social intervention project called Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty, and basically it's handing out handouts to the heads of family, irrespective of whether they are drunks, and nobody really cares. But essentially that is where we come in, because that's what we want to change. Because we want to affect the whole thinking that clearly government handouts, which obviously leads to laziness, is not the way to go. We certainly are promoting entrepreneurship, and in that sphere, we are asking for sensible laws against small businesses. The small businesses, as you probably know, are the ones that actually make a country grow. And so we've been asking for instance, flat tax regime for businesses whose annual threshold are around $10,000 a year. And it looks as if the government is getting it right around about this time.
So you're having an influence on the government, is what you're saying?
We actually are doing, and as I said initially, we were treated as being recalcitrant, but now, because we've persisted with facts rather than emotions, we've become quite receptive to the government. As I said, they now invite us to their closed-door pre-budget briefings, and indeed, even multilateral organizations like the World Bank have been warming up to ideas, which is interesting because, as you know, the World Bank has been very effective at perpetuating poverty. And,
you think so? I mean, I don't think. I have a good friend at the World Bank, and he's a very good man.
The thing, though, is that good intentions always bring unintended consequences, and so people naturally want to do good, but then because they are not at the exact place where they are thinking and interventions are supposed to be working, we have a saying in Ghana that a stranger has wide eyes and cannot see. So your friend, obviously, and most Africans, we believe in these anyway. We want to do good. We are socialists at heart, but capitalists in practice. And that is exactly that part. The capitalist aspect is what we are promoting. Because we said, and that's what the World Bank is now warming up to. Because, recently they asked us to do, basically help them refocus their time and money in Africa. And we thought that was very worthwhile. And indeed, when we conducted the studies, actually we validated 40 consultations from Africa. And when we did that through some algorithms, some matrices, it came out that most Africans actually wanted to trade. So they were thinking of removing the barriers to trade within and also barriers across the oceans. So for instance, I'm sure in America, they still talk about subsidies, but we just don't want subsidies. We don't want handouts. We just want to trade. That's the path that we are actually heading towards.
So, but this is interesting, and I now I have a better understanding of what you do, and it seems like a very interesting work. I mean, I'd be interested, if you want to put me, on your mailing list so that I can get, to know more about what you do, and if you have events, I might come. but you know, Kofi sort of talked about maybe, you know, some financial support. But you know, I mean, I concentrate almost all of my charitable givings on two things. I give, you know, to the local university in Ghana, you know, in Accra. I'm one of the big funders of the university in Accra. And I also, you know, fund, you know, research for breast cancer, because I don't know if Kofi told you, but I lost my wife to breast cancer last year, and so obviously, you know, it is a very dear cause to me. And so I you know, like, this is where my money goes in terms of charitable givings. You know, but maybe, you know, because of Kofi and we're good friends, I mean, I might consider like a very small amount, but, you know, what do you have in mind in terms of financial support? What were you hoping for? I mean,
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry to hear. My heartfelt sympathies. Actually, Kofi didn't tell me that, and this is news to me. I'm so sorry to hear that. And cancer is such a very dangerous disease. And you would think that it's actually the disease of the rich, as some people like to call it. It's actually killing a lot more people in Africa these days. You know, cardiovascular diseases have taken over even HIV/AIDS and all of that. And one of the things we do, again, at Imani, is to basically, you know, talk about this health interventions and then, you know, preempt some of these outcomes. So we also talk about lifestyle changes, even though I'm not privy to why your wife unfortunately passed. But these are some of the things we actually do. Actually, we thank you for willing to support us. We're not really looking for some huge support at this moment, because you obviously give to other causes. But we'll be happy if you, as I said, we'll put you on a mailing list to occasionally invite you to our events so that you see how effective we could be.
sure.
And
But I like my donations to be specific, and so, you know, what do you have a program where maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 would make a difference? Because, you know, see, like, I'm not interested in throwing my money into, you know, a big expensive organization and I don't know where it's going. But you know, if there's a program, you know, with like, what would you propose? What could I do that would be helpful with that kind of money?
Well, thank you. At this moment, in fact, at this juncture, we are embarking on a project to basically gauge public accountability. Because one of the major problems we face back home is that because government is the largest employer, we tend to lose, and again, there's all manner of fraud. For instance, the payroll has close to 50,000 ghost names on it. But that's just one aspect of what we want to do. We do not just want to have some, we don't want to have some forensic auditing alone. We want to invest in making proper laws. And on this, we are promoting, we're just about starting a project to, what you call, basically it's a project to promote a law that would ask for fiscal responsibility. There are other laws, but the fact is that they are not backed in enough. And so we want to be at the forefront promoting these laws, and we would like to do some proper research to see what effectively we could do in order to enhance that. And we want to promote this through our parliament, as well as make sure that it gets passed into law at least within the next year. Because it's just not certain. We lose close to $1.49 billion a year to payroll fraud. And that's more than the aid we receive anyway. We receive $1 billion a year. So that's quite... so public accountability, we also want to do a number of surveys to gauge exactly what people are thinking about public accountability.
Well, listen, it's all very interesting, and I'm looking forward to learn more. And so, you know, I'll send you a check. I haven't decided the amount yet. It'll be a small amount, but I'll send you a check, you know, within the next few weeks, and I'll try to, you know, put me on your mailing list, and I'll try to come to one of your events. So thank you very much for taking the time to see me.
Thank you very much.